Hello, Collective, and welcome back to Lit Intuition Tarot. My name is Kay, and outside of my regularly scheduled weekly readings, I was moved today to address something that many of us who follow a spiritual path occasionally face from time to time. It doesn't have to be a huge thing that we have to worry about, or, if we're on our path, we're on our path, and what's meant for us will come to us, regardless of opposition. However, many of us with spiritual gifts, or psychic gifts, or talents, whatever you want to call them, do occasionally run into opposition from forces that sometimes we can't see, and sometimes they operate through other people, and then we can see. And of course, everything operates for God's good in the end. I'm just saging my space. I'm going to get to the card in just a moment. What we're going to do today is we're going to pull a couple of oracle cards from the Star Child Oracle, released by Mystic Beauty rather recently. You can find it on her Etsy shop. It's called Mystic Shop. Very well done deck that I've just received recently. As well as the Isis Oracle. We're going to pull a couple of cards there for advice and encouragement. We have the Fallen Angel Oracle deck, which is where we're going to pull our main spread of 6 cards to kind of get to the root of the situation and kind of see what's going on from a higher perspective. And I'm just saging my table, like I said, so I'm almost done, but I did want to explain these things anyway before I began. And then I've got a mini Waite deck that I'm going to use for clarification on that central 6-card spread. Okay. Spirit, thank you for your many blessings. I humbly ask that you protect us from anything or anyone that may try to penetrate our energy with negative intent. Please guard us, Archangel Michael, with the shield of your holy celestial light. That anything that is not of the highest vibration for our highest good must leave now. Please guide my hands and the cards to best reflect your intent and will, and to provide clarity and truth to others. Okay, so I've pre-shuffled these 3 oracle decks. I am going to shuffle this one on camera because I will be taking the top 6 cards, and I want it to be obvious that the cards were not pre-selected by me. I have no idea what they're going to say, of course, and I will be reading briefly from the book on this Fallen Angel Oracle deck, simply because, they're not like tarot where you kind of get an idea of what they all are and you can remember them. They're unique cards, and I don't have them all memorized, of course. So I'm going to go through a few more shuffles on that, and then we'll get down to the reading. I've placed my little statuettes over here for this reading. So in attendance, we have, starting from the left here, we've got Buddha, and then we have Death. It's kind of difficult to see, but it's a little pewter statue of Death, the skull with the robe on. Next to him we have Mother Mary from the Christian tradition, joined by Isis, Kali, and Krishna. I just wanted to point those out. A versatile spirit team here. And we only have 3 more shuffles to go. I do appreciate your patience. But as we are discussing spiritual warfare tonight, I did want to make sure I do things correctly and thoroughly. one more shuffle to go. In the description box below, you will see a schedule and my regularly scheduled weekly readings for all signs, love readings for all signs. There's also a list of the decks I use down there, Oracle and Tarot, and a link to my website where you can book a personal reading with me or order a personalized avatar birth chart. So let's begin. I'm going to place these 6 cards. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. Okay. I've done this one a few times, but I just want to make sure I get the cards placed correctly. Happy new moon in Sagittarius, everyone, by the way. That's today. It's a good time to set your intentions for what you hope to work on and achieve and see come into fruition by the full moon, which will be happening, I believe, on the 27th, or maybe the 26th, but I think it's the 27th, and it will be a full moon in Cancer. So let's get to the cards here. So this first position that I'm flipping over is going to indicate the overall nature of your situation. We've got 51, love. Not sure how to pronounce the fallen angel's name. It looks like Gomori. And I'm going to read the explanation from the book. The element is air, the planet is Venus. The short message is, romance, or the renewal of an existing love, is on the horizon. Gomori often appears as a beautiful crowned princess riding a camel. Her talent is to tell of the past, present, and future. She can also reveal hidden treasures and help find things that are lost. With something material, the trick is to ask Gomori out loud to reveal its whereabouts. If the object has not been destroyed, it will usually become apparent very soon. More often, she helps recover lost truths and insights. Gomori can also cause people to fall in love, particularly young girls. So, in some cases, I've found with myself as well as others, spiritual warfare is often a product and a part of the twin flame journey. So with love being here, that may be, this reading may be for those of you who are on a twin flame journey. Love may be at the heart of the issue. You may be in separation from your soulmate or twin flame and therefore feel like they're lost to you, or you may still have not met that person and feel like, you're waiting for true love to come into your life. Take that as it resonates. I'm going to go on to the next card, and then I'm going to clarify these. So, you know what, actually, I think it would make more sense to clarify as I go. So, and let me put my phone on silent, so it keeps beeping on me. Sorry about the distractions, you guys. I'm trying to eliminate them now. Alright. So I've pre-shuffled the mini Radiant Rider-Waite deck, since I'm using the flip method and therefore cannot pre-choose cards either. Spirit, please clarify this Gomori love card. I'm going to take 2 for each card. First, we have the 3 of Wands, Aries energy, and the Lovers, which is major arcana for Gemini energy. So I did not intend for this to be a love reading. It is about spiritual warfare, but as I said, it can all be connected. So when twin flames or soulmates unite, they can often bring great love. They can show what love is like to others. It creates a ripple effect. When they come into union, they're able to show love in a unique, profound way that inspires and moves others. and it raises the vibration of the planet. So if there are, I mean, on one level, if you want to go really deep into things, I think that everything is one, but this isn't about my philosophy. On Earth, sometimes, unfortunately, on this planet, and these dimensions that we're limited to in our physical body, most things are a duality, of course. So even if you don't want to use this as romantic love, it could be a different type of love, or it could just be a metaphor for, raising the vibration around us. And so the spiritual warfare kicks in when we're actually starting to come into our purpose. And so what you would call like the dark forces or forces that are more aiming for destruction and negativity on the planet, they take notice, and thus begins spiritual warfare in your life, which can manifest in many different ways. Those of you who know, and it can be very frightening. You can feel like you're going crazy and losing your mind, and we're often influenced by others around us who are influenced by dark forces to also partake in drug use, excessive alcohol use, and I'm not here to criticize or judge anyone if they do engage in those activities. I myself was addicted to alcohol for most of my adult life, and also have tried pretty much every drug and was addicted to some of them that's been invented. So no judgment here. I thank Spirit and feel extremely blessed at this time in my life to be free from those compulsions. But my point is, we get into those states where we're influenced by chemicals. Not saying they're right or wrong, but like I said, if you know, you know. And all these things can come in and confuse us and take us away from our purpose so that our light doesn't shine. So with the Lovers here, that's talking about the choice we have, of course. I'm going to cover up the nude part, but I like how Gina talks about it in Cancer Baby Tarot. She talks about how the Lovers is about Adam, Eve, and the snake. So it's about a choice. You can choose love, or you can choose the snake, which manifests in many different forms. Then with the Three of Wands, it's that sense of expectation that we were talking about. Someone who is looking for or hoping for or expecting for true love and light in their life, that they may shine on others. So that's very fitting. Thank you, Spirit. The next card in the spread is background influences creating the situation. That's this card. And we have Avenus, 61, Enlightenment. I don't think I've ever gotten that one before. There's a bit of a glare, but you might be able to see it. It's a lovely card. I'm going to go ahead and read the meaning from the book. Okay. Just checking out the numbers. So far we've got 51, which comes down to a 6, and now 61, which is a 7. The element is water. The planet is Mercury. The message is good fortune if only you apply calm reflection and insight to your situation. Avenus sometimes first appears in dreams and visions as a bright pillar of flame before shifting into a more conventional angelic form. His flame is a piercing light of consciousness or intelligence, and he instructs humans in all the liberal arts, but particularly in astronomy and astrology, at which he is adept. He can reveal hidden treasures that are guarded by spirits, not only physical treasures, but more commonly philosophical and mystical ones. He also attracts allies to your cause. Okay, so with that being the background influences creating the situation, it's kind of like I was talking about before. That spark lights within you. You have a spiritual awakening experience or are enlightened in some way. And while that is a lovely thing, that can be sometimes what attracts opposing forces or energies. And by the way, I'm not one of those people who's attracted to chaos and drama and is trying to make this out to be, oh, you're in a battle and, you've got to worry about it and you've got to constantly be on your guard. It's best to find methods and means to protect yourselves, of course, and ask your spirit team to help you if you believe in that sort of thing. But this is not talking about, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not aiming for the disturbing aspect of it or the frightening aspect of it. These are just things that maybe we should be aware of. And I like how this is unfolding so far. Like I said, it just kind of illustrates what I was saying as about once you reach that state where you're starting to wake up, that can bring in the actual spiritual warfare. And that's showing up as a background influence, creating the situation. Now the next card, wait, we're going to clarify first. Okay. Spirit, please clarify avenues here for the background influences, creating the situation. The first card out is the Six of Pentacles, with the second one being the Nine of Cups, Taurus and Pisces energy. This awakening or enlightenment could have arisen from challenging circumstances that we found ourselves in due to our own selfishness and greed to some degree. We may have been in, you know, a normal 3D state, earthly state of only giving when we wanted to give, and or only giving to those who would give to us, or not giving equally to people. You know, it depends on what we're getting back, and there's an element of, you know, maybe unfairness to that, as well as, you know, the Nine of Cups it's not a negative card. It talks about wish fulfillment and happiness. So it can be a very positive card to see in a spread. But the way that it's coming through to me here, intuitively, I'm picking up that these could be additional causes, you know, for what led to your spiritual enlightenment or transformation. Just unequal give and take, and selfishly pursuing one's own desires. And after you do that for a while, you know, you get to the point where it seems like Ecclesiastes says in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun. It's hard to get that thrill anymore, and sometimes you're left feeling very down, desolate, and it's kind of like, what is this life about? What else is there for me? And that can sort of push people or lead them into a spiritual transformation. I can't talk, sorry. A spiritual transformation, or at least the beginning of it. Okay. Moving on to the third card. It's the first time I've tried something like this, you guys, so I hope it's not terribly boring for you. If you do like it, please indicate that by subscribing to my channel and hitting the thumbs up button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Next, we're going to move on to card 3. And that card is, or I'm sorry, it's listed as 01. So technically we're going to card 2, or the third card. And that is immediate causes of your situation. So the last one was background influences, and this one is the immediate cause. We have proofless, card 4. Whoops, this way. Revolution. Okay. And the book says, the element is air, the planet is sun. The brief message is, at times of confusion and misunderstanding, seek like-minded allies. It goes on to say, Proofless originally dwelt at the site of the Tower of Babylon, where she often took the form of a bright pillar of flame, or a figure with an owl's head against a background of flames, the owl being her totem bird. She is the enemy of complacency and arrogance, and likes to stir up conflict and war, giving generous aid to the side that she favors. Her appearance heralds revolution, an upheaval that may be alarming and cause some grief, but can lead to good in the end. Let's clarify that. As an immediate cause of your situation, perhaps from some conflicts were stirred, once you began to grow and come into your true identity and purpose in this lifetime. Excuse me. And that may have caused some conflicts with others. They may have felt like it said in the explanation, that you were choosing sides, letting go of some connections and choosing allies with other people. It might have upset some people or made them feel sort of left behind, or like you were being selfish or cutting them out. This could have caused some disruption. And often spiritual warfare is sort of set in motion. It's like a chicken and the egg by humans. Because although there are other energies or entities that may be involved or at work, it's like the person may see changes in you, and they might, seek help from dark forces or entities in doing spell work or that sort of thing to kind of bind you or interfere with your continued growth. Or it can be that an entity sort of, gets the scent in the air that you're waking up, and then they influence the people who they have influence, over whom they have influence, to sort of attack you on the physical plane as well. And I don't mean necessarily beating you up, but just doing little things to sabotage you. So I'm going to ask Spirit for clarification. Right away, the Queen of Wands popped out. Okay, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius energy. And let's get one more. Spirit, please clarify the immediate cause. Okay, and we have the Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. So you've decided to kind of step in your power. With the Queen of Wands there, gender doesn't matter, so male or female. You're making these choices, and you're deciding who is beneficial to your growth and who isn't. And that may have involved some, sort of going back and forth. With the Two of Pentacles, they're sort of teeter-tottering and trying to work in and out, into and out of your life, what you're prioritizing, what's important, what you want to keep and what you want to go. And some may have seen this as coming across as arrogant, or, the Queen of Wands is very confident, energetic, attractive. She often has spiritual gifts. So others haven't seen you this way. Again, this may have caused some degree of ill will. That's as far as I'm going to go on that one. Take it as it resonates. So for the next card, we have the attitude you need. Vapula, 59, which comes to 14, which comes to 5. Just like to put that out there. And it says command. So I'll go ahead and read from the book for that one. Again, it is the... I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, we'll leave that there. The next one I was supposed to look at was this card, and it's the enemy, obstacle, or challenge you face. It's Phoenix Rebirth, card number 68. Another 5, because it breaks down to 14 and then 5. Okay, so... Again, I apologize. Not used to doing this on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and read the meaning in the book for the Phoenix card there. 68. Okay. This is the enemy, obstacle, or challenge you face once again. And it says, element fire, planet moon. Message, time to refresh your spirit with art, particularly music, and make a new start. This angel's totem is, as her name suggests, the legendary golden phoenix that feeds on frankincense and myrrh. The phoenix is a magical bird that renews its life every 500 or 1,000 years by immolating itself in flames and then rising from the embers as a young bird, singing gloriously. The angel phoenix uses music and poetry to inspire those whom she favors, refreshing their spirit and renewing their energies, ready for the next chapter of your life. I'm going to clarify, but a couple things are coming to mind here. That seems like a very positive card. So as far as being an enemy, I'm not seeing it that so much as, well, unless an enemy is, your enemy is a Scorpio, which the Phoenix can represent, but that's kind of a joke. I could resonate, but I doubt it. It also talks about, as it says, challenges and obstacles, right? So could be that there's a part of you that's still resisting a rebirth, that finds it very daunting, just the thought of, letting everything burn down and rising from the ashes anew. So just kind of a fear of the unknown and of starting over again. As for the music and poetry element, that brings to my mind simply the advice that, You know, to be very careful what you're allowing into your vibration and what you're allowing to influence you. The first card that popped over to clarify that is the Queen of Swords. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy, and the Wheel of Fortune, which I see as Sagittarius energy, as it is a Jupiter card, can also be indicative of the fixed signs, those being Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. Okay. The Queen of Swords is careful about what she lets in. She makes sure that it's coming from truth. She doesn't accept any kind of bullshit or any kind of attempted influence from others whose opinion she doesn't trust. She sort of reviews things with a rational mindset. And with the Wheel of Fortune there, you know, I see that as be careful about what you're allowing to influence you. And as far as the starting over goes, with the Wheel of Fortune, that's just kind of clarifying, saying that, you know, it will be a complete turn in your circumstances, in the situation, in karma, because it's upright. You know, this is going to be sort of like the reckoning. It may seem like everything is lost for a moment. We do have very, very dark and sometimes disturbing moments throughout the journey of spiritual warfare that we're faced to sometimes deal with, or forced to sometimes face or deal with. But with the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Swords, Spirit is telling us that, you know, we will rise again. Our fortune will change for the better, you know. It'll put us on the top of the wheel. And just to use your discernment. Okay. When I play with the cards, I'm sorry, sometimes it annoys me when other readers do that. Sometimes it's just because I'm thinking, sometimes I'm trying to pick up the card's vibration, and sometimes it's just because I have a mild case of OCD and I like everything to be completely straight, just for full disclosure. So we're going to move on now to this card, which I already looked at. It's Vapula 59 Command, and that position is the attitude you need. The element is water, the planet is Venus. The message: take control of your life by learning from the masters of your profession. Vapula's totem beast is the lion, which connects him to the gospel author Mark. As a winged angel, the aura around his head also makes him resemble that kingly beast. Vapula is a great champion of applied learning, particularly in the sciences and philosophy. He is a patron of libraries, but he is equally a promoter of handicrafts, such as woodwork, engineering, and building construction, teaching that abstract learning should be balanced by practical application. The attitude you need. Okay, I'll clarify. So, one of humility, learning from those who have greater spiritual wisdom or experience than we do perhaps, and being willing to approach things from both a practical and an abstract manner. The first card coming out to clarify is Judgment. Sorry, this is such a glare. Major Arcana for Scorpio energy. Okay. Let's get one more for that. Spirit, please clarify this card for the attitude that we need. And then we have the Four of Swords. Okay. So be willing to deal with whatever things in your past that need to be healed and released and let go. Look to, like I said, was saying and the card said, Spirit saying, to look to the wisdom of others, and in doing so, and with this Phoenix here being the challenge to rise from the ashes after maybe going through a dark night of the soul or feeling destroyed in some way or beat down. It's like, it's good to take an attitude of looking to others for guidance. I mean, and even if that's just your spirit team, and with the Four of Swords, healing, resting, meditating, dealing with, like I said, issues from your past, because a lot of what can make us more vulnerable to spiritual warfare is our wounds. So you can think of like demonic forces or negative entities or energies as being attracted to our light as we start to grow spiritually and become enlightened and realize and use our gifts. So deal with the past, try to heal your inner child, and take advice from the wisdom of others. The last card in this spread, let me get back to the position here. Actually, there's two more. My bad. The next card is Action You Must Take. And we have Dandelion. I thought it was dandelion at first, like the flower, but it's close. 71, Empathy. Action you must take. Okay, I'll read from the book. Element Water, Planet Venus. Message. Peace and reconciliation can be achieved through understanding and the recognition of common humanity. Dandelion is a glorious angel whose face constantly changes, reflecting all the types of people in the world, both male and female. She carries a great book, which is a record of all the lives that are or have ever been, and these are the lives reflected in her shifting countenance. Dandelion teaches insight and empathy, the understanding of the hearts and minds of other people, no matter how different their beliefs, customs, and appearance may at first seem. This angel is a great peacemaker. I'm going to go ahead and clarify that card. As far as the action that you must take, obviously if you feel like somebody's out to get you and harm you if they're able, if you're protected, then that's nothing to worry about. But if you really feel like somebody has your absolute worst fate is their wish, then it's not, I don't feel that Spirit's telling you that you need to just completely open up to that person. However, it's sometimes beneficial to be able to get in touch with sort of like a universal type empathy, where you understand why things are happening the way they are, where the people that you're dealing with are coming from, what they may be influenced by, and just to have compassion for all souls, like it says, regardless of their circumstances. I'm going to go ahead and clarify that. And it's good to stay that way through spiritual warfare, because if you find yourself getting caught up in hatred and revenge fantasies and that kind of thing, you're only feeding the fire and giving them what they want. As far as who they are, take that as it resonates. Clarifying it, we have the Four of Cups, Cancerian energy. And let's get one more. Okay, the Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. Okay. So there are those who have sort of missed the boat for now. Maybe they're not on the right path. Maybe they're making their way toward a better path. We can always hope with our empathy for the best for others. Whether or not you feel comfortable praying for your quote-unquote enemy is up to you. Everyone's different, and I'm not recommending that. But empathy being clarified here with these things, it's like, sometimes people don't understand what they're passing up or what they're choosing completely. And maybe that's a reason, if someone's, for instance, been poor their whole life and meant to suffer through poverty, and then they're offered some kind of deal from the devil, that will make them rich. It's like, even though I'm not saying that's right or whatever, everyone's circumstances are different. To perhaps have empathy for those who may be trying to make up for things that they feel like they've been lacking in their lives. And, try to use whatever empathy that you may have, and I'm speaking to myself as well, to help others to get to a better place, whatever guidance, as long as it's welcome, that we can contribute is a good way to express our empathy, like I said, if it's welcome. And for the last card in the spread, we have the likely outcome. We have Orobus 58, Honesty, which adds up to 13, so it breaks down to a 4. I'm going to read from the book here. Element Air, Planet Jupiter. Message: resist any temptation to achieve your desires by devious means. They will only backfire. Orobus's totem beast is the noble horse. Orobus, too, is noble by nature, generously sharing his great knowledge of mystical things with humans through dreams and inspirations. He is a champion of honesty in all dealings and delights in exposing lies and false promises. When you get this card, you need to examine your conscience to be sure you are not misleading others any more than you would mind being misled by them. Beware of guilty secrets coming to light. So a couple things stood out to me about this. First of all, the horse kind of brought to mind Sagittarius. Again, we do have a new moon in that sign today. Sagittarians are also known as being very frank and honest. So this talks about honesty and examining your conscience. Okay, so yes, often when we do follow a spiritual path too, we find some of our nasty stuff comes up in, for review by us, or it's brought up sometimes by others, as a way of saying, oh, that person really isn't who they say they are. That person shouldn't be a spiritual leader. That person shouldn't be reading tarot. That person shouldn't be, etc., etc. You get my drift. And then they can pull out a sex video that you made back when you were drugged up in your 20s or whatever, in some horrible relationship with a narcissist. And I'm just speaking on generalities here and kind of trying to be somewhat humorous, but it's actually, some of that can be kind of spot on too. At least some of it has been in my experience. So what I do, this is just a little off-the-cuff thing that I'm going to say, has nothing to do with the cards, so I appreciate your patience. I have no shame in my game. I know what I've done. I know some of it's been recorded. I know that I've done a lot of horrible things. However, I have asked for forgiveness. I have forgiven myself, and I am choosing to live differently today. That's all that we can do. If someone is to confront you with, evidence or accusations talking about your past behavior, or exposes a lie that you told at some point or whatnot, this is just coming from me, not spirit. So I'm not an expert. But in my experience, it has been the most beneficial thing to do, both for yourself and and for others, to admit where you've been wrong and to make your peace with it within yourself and between you and your higher power, because those are the only forces that really have any right to judge. Having said that, the first card that popped out to clarify is the Queen of Pentacles. And let's get one more. Spirit, please clarify this card for the outcome. And we've got the Hierophant. Perfect. Major Arcana for Taurus energy. And yet another 5. Alright. So just to clarify what the card actually says, and not just my little opinion on it. Honesty, trustworthiness, connection to spirit, keeping your obligations, making good on your contracts. All those things are summed up by those cards. And I think that's all that really needs to be said in that regard. I'm going to go ahead and just cut these 2 decks to end the reading. This Star Child Oracle card that I'm going to choose. Like I said, I just received this deck. Shout out to Mystic Beauty. They were very well done. I pre-shuffled them, but I'm going to go ahead and just sort of break these apart, like you can see, so I have no idea what this card's going to be. This may indicate just something to take note of, synchronicities, or perhaps a spiritual gift or psychic ability that you have, that you're able to tap into in this battle that you may be facing. And we have Spiritual Death Doula. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to read the card. It says, a death intuitive, spiritual mediumship doula, akin to a high priestess, is a deeply empathetic and spiritually attuned individual with unique abilities to connect with the living and the departed. From a young age, they are sensitive to life, death, and the afterlife, and possess intuition to sense impending death, a skill they use with great responsibility. They communicate with the departed to offer solace to the grieving. As a doula, they provide comprehensive emotional, spiritual, and practical support during life's final stages, often employing rituals, prayers, or interventions for comfort and guidance. They serve as a crucial bridge between worlds, guiding souls and families through significant life transitions. Okay, and then we'll grab one final card for advice or encouragement from the Isis Oracle. Let's see what we got there. Okay, it says Flower of Life. Probably can't see it very well, my apologies. And it reads, you are entering a fertile period of your life. You are guided to think of yourself as a creative being and to surrender your control over how things will manifest, and instead allow them to do so. Don't resist change. Instead, go with the flow and let it happen. Now is the time for your blossoming. With that, I'll end the reading, collective. For those of you who made it through the reading, I really appreciate your time and attention. I invite you again to like, share, subscribe. Tap the notification bell to see my uploads. Check out my webpage. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. See you soon.